Hello, Colin.
Hello.
You all right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I've got my light on today. There we go.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Oh, dear. Nice to see you. I know it was only like last Monday, but it feels like it's been months.
I know. Incredible, isn't it?
Like
Where does time ever go when you're enjoying yourself?
I know, especially when we're both only 21 as well. It's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, nice to see you. As I said on Bruce Forsyth, to see you. All right, nice. There we go.
It's my 25th wedding anniversary.
Is it? You don't look old enough, mate.
I know. I'd have been out by now.
That's for murder. Exactly.
I'd have been out by now. I'd have been out.
You never know.
Yeah, my 25th wedding anniversary, and as you can see, I'm at a secret location.
I know where your secret location is, but I will not divulge your secret location, my friend.
You know my secret location.
I do, to be fair. It's long overdue. I have to come and see you at your secret location at some point again. It'd be nice.
You will.
Enjoyed that last time. It was good fun. But anyway, show 54. Show 54.
I know. I can't believe it. I couldn't get a 54th badge anywhere.
Couldn't get one. They've been banned. They've been outlawed, my friend. But no, I mean, incredible. Look, we're really grateful to be here. Like we always say, we do this for fun, for the fans, by the fans, with the fans. Don's Unplugged. There you go.
I haven't got my. I was in a bit of blind panic because I never packed anything Don's related.
Didn't take anything with you in your Cliff Richard.
And I realised I got my hoodie, so we're all right. So.
You're good, and you've got all your shirts behind you.
Yeah,
exactly. But no, look, we've got a lot to get through. I feel like, as I say, it's been a while, but it's only because we were out of sync last week. And again, thank you for everyone who tuned in. Appreciate I was in Germany and travelling around, so we managed to get the show out last Monday. But we're really pleased to be back in our normal slot and on with the show. So, as always, what do we start with? We always start with a thank you to Mr. Kaz at the Kaz Bar at the bottom of the screen, Gate 7 on a match day. Fantastic food. We all love him. Say no more. But Kaz has got a few new treats, I believe, coming on the menu soon.
Has he?
He has. Yeah, another few specials. So keep an eye out for that.
A ground that shall remain nameless.
Go on.
Many years ago, I used to frequent the place, and I used to go down there, and they had burgers and what have you named after the players.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, say no more.
Yeah, I don't know quite, the Lewin burger or something like that, well, I don't know. I mean, the Colonel burger, it'd be deep fried chicken, wouldn't it?
You say that, and I'll tell you, I went to see my dad in the Philippines, Cole. It's just a random curveball because you mentioned it. 2002. And their KFC had a burger called the Colonel Burger.
Really?
So it just stuck with me when obviously Colonel Sanders, the Colonel.
Yeah, if you could think, people at home, if you can think of a burger or a name of a burger that the Kaz could serve and what it entailed,
let us know. Stick it in the comments.
Let us know. I mean, I'd love to see something like that. That'd be brilliant.
I would. Yeah, definitely. But there you go. Look, another curveball live on air, Cole.
You could have the Truman burger and there'd be nothing in it.
You can have the Hogan burger. You bite into it, it's full of disappointment and bitterness. There we go. I'll say no more. Anyway, look.
What an idea.
We've got a few things to go through tonight. So we've always got, obviously, the Luke Payne, the AK Chris Kamara of the Don's Unplugged world with his review of the Salford City game and a slight preview. We have also got, and Colin, you don't even know about this, but I've worked with the lovely Chris Turner and Ryan, and we've got another slot in the show with a video, which will be previewing our Tranmere game, predicted 11s and lines up. So I'm looking forward to showing everyone that. It's going to be great. I've seen it. I think it's brilliant. Chris and Ryan, I know you're watching. Thank you very much. It's certainly become
I look forward to that.
And it equally gives Colin another few minutes to go for another comfort break if he needs to during the show.
So I'm okay tonight. And the loo is closer.
The loo is closer. Exactly.
Mind you, where I am, everything's close. If you know what I mean.
Right out into it, Cole, if you want to. But yeah, we're going to talk all things Salford, talk all things Tranmere. We've got a few things we're going to go through, and obviously you, the viewers, to please jump in and comment as well. Referee last weekend. Colin and I are going to talk about that with you guys. Did we think we got the best of the decisions? We'll come on to that. We're going to talk about the potential, and I'll use the word potential, Patterson suspension, because Someone says yes, others say no. What's happening on that? So we'll talk a bit more about that.
I'll find out if you lot know, because we don't know.
Exactly. Well,
He's suspended.
is he? Is he not? It's one of those, isn't it? It's like the Where's Wally situation, really. But
Sounds like an Ashley Clements job to me.
does to me too. But we've also got not one, but two. Two injuries of the week to talk about.
Yeah, and the potential crisis that might throw up.
Well, there's some talk about that in our second video that we'll come on to.
Oh, right. I look forward to that.
Which is also been addressed by Chris and Ryan. So looking forward to sharing that. Potential changes, as Collins mentioned. So again, obviously with the injuries of the week, we'll come on to Tranmere preview. We've got Matt back from the Trip to the Moon podcast from Tranmere.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. Can you remember why they called it a trip to the moon?
It was something to do. I don't know. He'll tell us again probably, but it was something to do with. I think it was like a fanzine or something, or a song, or it'll come back to.
Right, okay. Well, we'll ask Matt when he comes on.
Yeah, it goes to prove how much we retain the information up here, Cole.
Well, many people. We talk to so many people.
We do. But I have to say, Matt, from memory, was a lovely guy. Really looking forward to speaking to him and all things Tranmere.
Yeah.
So we'll go through some stats, we'll go through some previews and reviews with him. And then anything else that comes our way, Cole.
Yeah, and I apologise that I've got flickering all around me, but honestly, it's a lot better than the backdrop I would be showing.
Well, it's the candles in the background; they're flickering.
Yeah,
that's what it is,
yeah.
There we go.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So I think let's start with our Luke Payne preview, and then we can talk all things Salford, and then
I'll scroll back on the script. Have we got any welcomes tonight?
We've got quite a few. Yeah. So we're going to do that, and then obviously we'll go on to Luke Payne. Sorry, I meant to say first. Yeah. Anyway,
while the Luke Payne review's on, say good evening, welcome, where you are, what you doing.
Exactly.
Anything.
We'll do some good evenings first, and then we'll crack on with that. We've got Collins joined us, Colin Giddens, and Colin, I hope the information I sent you earlier on the DM helps you. That was top of the mind. He was doing a quiz, and he asked me for a question. So there we go. Matt is in the house. So Matt says, evening, lads. Got a horrible cold, but nothing going to stop me from watching. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that.
Good dedication. We like that.
Yeah, so my good wife has also got a horrible cold, so I think there must be something going around, Matt, at the moment, to be fair.
I had it a few weeks ago. Do you remember?
You did. Yeah, you did.
Knocked me up
bad. Nice.
Hey, Karen! Nice.
So Karen's joined us. Evening, Karen. Thank you for watching.
Karen's a regular.
Guess who's back?
Like her. Oh!
Sheila's back. Another Wednesday night extravaganza. Sheila, I hate to say that you're going to be very disappointed.
I have to catch my breath when I see that now.
When she says a Wednesday night extravaganza, I appreciate it.
My heart flutters.
Low, Sheila.
My heart flutters. Hi, Sheila.
His heart flutters, but we're getting him a doctor for that. So there we go. Not only that, we have 100% of the household in the house because Russ has joined us as well. Good evening, Russ. Always a pleasure to see you. Good.
Evening, Russell.
Evening, Russell. Great to have you both on the show. So much appreciated. We've also got Kerry Ann. Kerry Ann, good evening. Thank you for joining as always.
Good evening, Kerry Ann.
Exactly. It's always good to
another regular.
We have got. He's been knighted since we last spoke to him. But
Sir Chris I like it.
Hold on, I'm dubbing you with a sword that I've got in my hand. There you go. There you go.
If I had a hat on,
sword, Chris. There you go. There's a bottle.
If I had a hat on, I'd take it off.
There we go. If he had a hat on, he'd take it off.
I would.
There you go. I'll doff my Don's Unplugged hat. There you go.
How about that?
How about that? Live on the show. There we go. Harry's joined as well. Harry says, evening, fellas. Evening, Harry. Thanks for joining. As always, we have got Stephen. Stephen said, evening, legends.
Evening, legends.
There we go. Fantastic. And Colin. So there you go.
Evening, Dons and Donette.
Or Grant. I like that. Yeah, Grant, that's a nice one. Ryan has joined us as well. As I say, he said, good evening, you Dons legends. So thanks for watching, Ryan. Looking forward to putting your video on later, my friend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Ryan. Hope it's good.
It is. It's gold. Not that I'm trying to oversell it, but I really enjoyed it myself, to be fair.
Oh, good. Okay.
Craig said, good evening, fellas and all. There you go. Nice to have you on. Thanks very much, Craig. And hope you enjoyed tonight's extravaganza, as Sheila would call it. So Chris of Botwoodshire has said, "What rubbish headset are you wearing, Colin?"
I know. Sorry, Chris. I'm using third-rate equipment here. Yeah,
Well, he's in North Norfolk.
I apologise.
He's in the land of Russell Martin's forefathers.
Yeah, I am.
You are. So there you go. And Liam Manning's, funny enough.
Yeah.
There we go. But yes, congrats to you and your good lady. You've done it. So I don't know. How have you done it? I don't know.
Mate, it's a bloody mystery to me.
Well, I'm saying nothing, but no, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Definitely in order. Yeah, lovely. Thank you for that one, Karen. Much appreciated. Sheila has said her congratulations as well. She's celebrate with Don's Unplugged. There you go.
Very nice. Thanks, Sheila.
See, there's a lot of love in the house, Cole, for the anniversaries. Big up, Aidan. Thank you, Chris. And big up to you for that video that I'm looking forward to sharing with the Don's.
I am. I mean, you're building it up.
I am building it up. I said we've been talking about doing something different, and so Chris and Ryan have worked their socks off.
Yeah, we're always trying to think of doing something different. Yeah. And Chris came to us with an idea.
I think he's gone. He's gone, isn't he? He's frozen. I knew this was going to happen, Cole. We talked about this before the show if you watched it, but never mind. We're going to carry on. Hopefully we'll see. Oh, you're back. You're back. I said I knew this was going to happen. We talked about it before the show, but never mind. This is live on air and we roll forward, Cole.
I've told my missus to limit her use on the broadband this evening.
Yeah, stop using the Fire TV. That's the one, right?
Oh, what?
I don't know. Just a guess, but there we are. George, good evening, guys. Looking forward for your review of the Salford game. Well, It might be an interesting one, George, and definitely some input from the crowd watching as well. Luke QB1 says, can serve with John Mellish.
Now, look, listen.
Well done. I like that one.
That is superb.
I like that, yeah.
Can I have some John Mellish on it? I mean, brilliant. You're thinking, Lou, well done. That's brilliant.
Well, we've got some creative people watching, right? That's all.
Any more suggestions? I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly. And Ryan said, big up Colin as well. There we go.
Oh, thanks, Ryan.
Mr. Ashley Clements is in the house. He says, evening legends and Colin. Hey, we've not got a day or a week where he's beaten the streak. He said, not the best performance at the weekend, but the kind of games that excuse me, I just catching my breath there. But these kind of games are what we can get.
Indeed. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I mean, actually, bang on. You bang on. That's the sort of game we probably lost last season, but we'll come on to that, my friend. But a really good point. And then flipping over to that side, which is the Facebooks. We've got a few there. Over there, that's it. Yeah, just keep looking at it. You found it. Good stuff. Danny says, evening, gents. So Danny Shaw, Mr. Diamond Geezer, Danny Shaw is with us. So thank you, Danny.
Diamond Geezer.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you, Danny. Nice to see you on the Casper around there over the weekend. Glenn is with us. Evening, Glenn. Hope he's sort of on the road to recovery, still on the up, my friend. But he said good evening. Danny is listening to us from the MRI department, so I hope everything's going well, my friend. I think the good lady had some health issues from what I could see, so fingers crossed and all the best.
From what you can see, what, are you a doctor?
No, from the Facebook feeds, Colin, from the Facebook feeds.
Oh, sorry.
Our friends on the aforementioned the Facebook. Well,
I thought you'd been moonlighting as a surgeon.
I tell you what, if I had been, I'd have been on a bloody good pay for it, that's for sure. Arthur has joined us. Bomber Harris. He says, hi, lads. Evening, Bomber Harris. Nice to see you and hope you're well.
Evening, Bomber.
And Glyn said that Carl Robinson wasn't happy because because they lost. I'm saying nothing. And Chris has jumped onto the Facebook to say big up Aidan as well. So there you go. And big up Colin. So you're on stereo on both platforms. There we go. So that's our messages out the way before we get on with the show anyway. But thank you everyone as always.
I'm exhausted.
We are. And Colin is trying to recover from caravanitis by the looks of it. But there we go. Either that or the shock.
I'll tell you what, it's bloody hot in here.
Is it? Are you going to do a quick change whilst we got the video on?
I might do.
You might well do. Good stuff. Right. So without further ado, we'll go into our Chris Kamara, as always, the Luke Payne review, and I'll see you on the other side, Cole.
Yeah, we'll do.
Right, we've got another game to cover, and this time it's the 2-0 home victory to Salford. Now, this wasn't a great game from Dons, I'm going to be honest. We didn't have anywhere near enough control. We didn't have a way of dealing with Salford's press, and we just lacked composure on the ball, which kind of restricted the amount of chances we were able to create. There was also an element of luck involved in the early minutes when Kelly and Mai somehow managed to hit the bar and before the ball went out of play. He should have scored. There's no other way I can put it. He should have scored, but he didn't. And to be fair, I think we've defended relatively well. I'd say the defence defended well. I'm not necessarily convinced in that game by the midfield or the strike force in terms of our defending as an entire unit. But we did restrict them to, well, I think they had 3 big chances officially, but I don't think there were too many threatening ones. I think the only other one I can think of is the Dan Udo one where McGillivray's managed to just get a touch on it before he could hit it from quite close range. I think that was in the second half. But no, we kind of ended up having to bide our time a little bit, and well, we got the penalty at the end of the first half, didn't we? And I've still not seen a good angle of it. I'm not necessarily convinced it was, but we'll absolutely take it. We don't get these sorts of decisions in our favour very often. With regards to penalties, we don't win many. But nice to get one, and of course, well taken by Nathaniel Mendes-Lang as well. Second half, obviously we had something to defend, and I think for the most part we did a pretty good job at keeping them out. We were resilient at the back, and there wasn't as much control as I'd like, definitely not. But in terms of our game management, I thought we handled it quite well, to the point that we were able to score ourselves a late goal right at the very end. Bit of a shame it took that long for it to happen, but we had Deadly on the break, and it was a very, very good goal to cap off the win, obviously scored by Callum Patterson. Now, there are obviously concerns like the lack of control of the fixture at home, albeit Salford are a very good side. I mean, you do have to give them some credit for that. But I would like to see more from us at home. I'd like to see us learn how to beat these higher pressing teams, because we've struggled with it against Barnet, we've struggled with it against Salford. We don't want it to become the blueprint on how to beat Dons. It is probably the way I'd put it. Other than that, I'd say the biggest concern is the injuries to the strike force. Mendes-Lang and Hepburn Murphy both going off injured over the course of the game. Haven't heard anything about that as of yet, so hopefully we'll have at least one of them back, would be nice. Otherwise we could be a little bit short on numbers potentially, although that is the game Aaron Collins is supposed to be back, so who knows. We don't want to rush him though. That is the last thing we want to do, because we need him on the pitch for more than just a half or something like that. But we're coming up against a Tranmere side next, and well, they score a lot of goals, they also concede a lot of goals, so that there's a real opportunity here to put in another sort of statement victory, especially as other sides around us are all kind of playing each other over the next couple of weeks. I'd say these next couple of games for us represents a huge opportunity to take advantage and hopefully rise to the top of the league. But one game at a time, we've got to see how this Tranmere one goes first. Come on, you Dons.
As always, thank you to Mr. Luke Payne.
I'm a bit. Has Luke Payne had a facial or something?
What a facial? What?
He looked like he got mascara or eyeshadow on. It might be my bloody camera, but I tell you what,
think it's definitely your camera.
I kept looking at it, and I was a little bit worried.
Incredible, Luke. I apologise. That Don's Unplugged. We're professional. We always get the makeup department in before people go on camera.
I know. I mean, I think they overdone the eyeshadow.
You think they did? I think he looked fine to me. I think maybe it was your camera. But
no,
look, as always, Luke, quality entertainment, quality TV view, and a great assessment, to be honest. As I say, we've got our preview, another preview coming up, but we'll hold that for just before we go on to the
I'm just blown away. There'll be no need for me sooner or later.
Wow. I just thought, a couple more comfort breaks.
It's just like Aiden's video show.
Well, not at all. Yeah, like
MTV.
Unplugged shorts. There we go. Tawny raised a really good thing. He said the way Warney was speaking at the weekend, he's been given a green light to bring in some more marquee signings in January.
Well, we've said it needs doing.
Yeah, it feels like that, Tawny. I mean, again, depending where we are. I mean, if we're up there and thereabouts, which I have no doubt we should be, touch wood, don't attempt fate. It should attract the right players in because we're at the right end of the table. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. But yeah, Collins has come back in as well. Says, I don't think we played that well on Saturday.
No, we never. I can confirm that.
Yeah, and it says Moose just said that both Patterson and Gilby miss Tranmere due to yellow cards. So
who's Moosh?
Grant will tell you.
Who's Mush?
One of the pundits from memory. You made John laugh about your comments with Luke. He shouldn't listen. He shouldn't listen. It's the quality of the TV.
Oh, well, we do love Luke. We do love Luke.
We do.
I think it must be. I'm in a different environment. I'll try backpedaling there.
Yeah.
I'm in a different environment, and it looks a little bit. Yeah, that's right. It just looks a little bit weird to me.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was digging your hole for you, Cole.
Sorry, Luke.
Exactly. No, it's all good fun. We're only having a joke, obviously, I'm sure. But no, I think for me, Cole, like, I mean, again, I watched the game via satellite link up, let's say, on Saturday.
Was they showing it live in Germany, were they?
Well, they were on my phone, but we'll leave it there. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't work out, and maybe you could because you were there, but I couldn't work out, did we play poorly or were Salford a lot better on the day? Because I think Luke hit the nail on the head.
Well,
for me.
We played back. I didn't think they played very well.
I didn't think they played great.
That's one of the worst halves of football.
First half,
yeah. I mean, obviously the penalty jarred it up a little bit, made it feel a little bit better. And like Luke, I've looked for footage and photographs and what have you. I don't know. I still don't know if it was a penalty, and we got it. Yeah, I mean, brilliant. But what I will say, I mean, we've got a referee. Did we get the best of decisions? You know what referees are like today?
Yeah.
They give a decision, then they get it in their minds it could be a little bit dubious, so they look to level it up. And he had two opportunities to point at the spot. One was a dive, I felt.
Yeah.
But the other, there seemed to be a little bit of contact there. And I was surprised he never pointed at the spot. I really was. I mean, Robbo was incensed.
You could see that.
It doesn't take much to incense Robbo.
It does not take much to incense Robbo. But did you see the We Are Salford on the YouTube? Because I watched that.
No. I don't watch hooky TV.
I will say, if anyone's watched We Are Salford, they're doing like this weekly show at the moment.
Is it a bit like Wrexham?
Not really. It's a little bit more lowbrow than that, but it's like 9 minutes of just TV, and it was after the game, build up to the game, and you had obviously Carl talking in the change room, talking about
swearing things. More like.
Well, I thought it was quite interesting, to be fair, because he felt on there that it was the better team. It's worth a watch if you do for the Dons game. If you haven't,
I thought Salford were the better team.
Yeah, I think. Look, Carl's come with a game plan, and I think every time we play a Carl Robinson team, he knows what to do, and he always seems to try and make it difficult.
Luke did touch on it, and I think it is right. We are looking pretty good hitting teams on the break.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think the key to any game that we're going to be playing in now, because like Luke said, Barnet and Salford, there's also Bromley to throw in there. I think it's going to be really key for the rest of the season that we score first, mate. I really do. I think we're gonna not strong. I think we're gonna find it hard to break teams down because their game plan is obviously get in front and hang on to it. But if we can get in front, they've got to overcommit players.
Yeah.
Then we can do what we did with. I mean, obviously they were throwing everybody forward. A bit like a Danish. Last-minute job, wasn't it?
Well, I tell you what, we'll come on to that. Congratulations, by the way, to Scotland.
Yeah, congratulations, Scotland.
Cracking win. I mean, I watched the whole game, but we'll come on to that later. But yeah, I get your point, Cole. I get your point. I think for me, look, I thought...
Sorry, first is got to be a massive...
I mean, for me, look, the positives for me, first of all, were I thought defensively we were really solid overall, and I think that's a massive plus to take away, even while not performing that well.
Two big chances. Udo hit the bar, and McGillivray saved point blank.
Yeah,
when he must have thought he's only got to touch it, it's in the back of the net. So fair play, Craig Mack.
Exactly. So I think that for me, I think Craig Mack coming back was great to see. Again, makes
you can see the confidence in the back four, can't you?
Huge difference, and I think
with a change of keeper.
Yeah, I thought that combination was the difference for me on the weekend. I did feel though that the high press thing that Luke talks about is something that's a bit of a concern that maybe that Warney needs to look at, because Barnet have done it, Salford have done it, and it's made us look a bit
And
ropey.
Bromley.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's something that I think they need to go away. And interesting enough, when Warney said they didn't have a victory Monday this week because he wasn't impressed and the players weren't. So hopefully they've reflected on that. I think they will. But again, like, like I think Craig just said a minute ago, like to win this, even not playing well, this time last season, that's better. This time last season, we'd have lost it, Cole. We'd have lost that game easily. So that's the difference between a good and a bad team. Even when you're playing poor, you're grinding out results. And I think that's good. Okay, you could probably argue we're a bit lucky with the penalty, potentially, if you're given that.
I can't say conclusively one way or the other. I mean, there was a little bit going on as the camera sort of panned across to it, but you couldn't tell what.
No, I mean, like you and I, you're not going to get on the TV. There wasn't much of a good.
You don't know as well. The referee might have said 2 or 3 minutes earlier, if you don't keep your hands down, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to point at the spot. There could have been a warning given out.
You don't know. And no, I think that's the thing as well. It's like for me, like I do get Carl's point. Not that I want to side with him on everything, but if that's a 50-50, their one was a 50-50. Why is one given, one's not?
Well, like I said, I thought we not only got a cheap penalty, but we got away with an opportunity of the referee being able to level it up. That's what I felt.
Yeah, I thought so, Cole, to be honest. So, look, it is what it is. I'm going to take a win anyway. They come. We've had games this season. We had a game last season. We should have won
all day long.
All day long. It's one of those.
All day long. And it's an old football saying, if you can win when you're playing bad, that's the mark of a team that's going up.
Yeah, and so thanks for that, Ryan. But he just said Gilby Patterson are both on 4 yellow cards, so will be available for Saturday as well. I say some of the comments are coming up, and we're not reading through, but we're making sure they're on there. But some great comments coming up, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know, Cole. I mean, I felt that the lack of control that we had, not in the defensive half, but particularly up front, was a little bit. And again, I don't know if it's because players are jaded because we've had a few injuries and people are a bit tired. Maybe.
Darren describes it to me. I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Darren, he stands next to me in the cow shed. He calls it hot potato football. And there is an element of that. And we were screaming about someone to put a foot on the ball or string a few passes together, but it was almost like quite panicky. Not really bad panic, but you know what I mean? Like, got to unload it sort of thing. Yeah, and the sign of a good Dons team is when they're settled down and moving the ball, because we're as good, if not better, than most teams in the league at doing that.
I think so. Let's not being over the top about it. I think on our day we can beat anyone. We know that.
We're straying away from our strong suit. That's the.
It is. So match is coming. What I will say is that it was good to see us win a game while not being the better team. You're 100%, Matt.
Yeah.
Been on the other end of it too many times and for many years. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Funny.
How many times have we been the better team and we've lost?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I go back to the Wrexham game last season when was it the season before? I forget now. But when it bolts in the side of the net,
Yeah,
incredible. But anyway, Russ says, "Is it if it's in our favour, the ref's decision is final. If it's not, it's a travesty." Yeah,
that's it. That's the only way to look at it, Russ. That's the only way to look at it.
Yeah. Madness.
I mean, as you know, I try and dissect referees every week, and sometimes I feel bad about it because, if there was no referees, there'd be no football bloody games, and it's a bloody horrible. I've done it. I've been a referee. It's a horrible job. Every time you blow the whistle, half think you're right, half think you're wrong. You can't bloody win, but
of course you can't.
What I can't excuse is ridiculous stuff going on. Absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? I mean, like the other week, Nemain being taken waist high.
Yeah.
And then, on the touchline when he was breaking down the wing, and then about 5 minutes later, he treads on somebody's foot. Yeah, that's right. It has. He treads on somebody's foot on the edge of our box, and he gives him a free kick and books Nemain. I mean, consistency. If it's consistent across the board, nobody can complain.
No, I mean, look, we'll take the win. I think Harry's comment made me smile a minute ago. How he was really laying into KTS, quite angry even after.
Oh, crikey! Yeah. Patterson give him a right
Yeah, I mean that's
Powerful,
a
isn't
sign
he?
of a leader, right? There's someone who's passionate as a leader, and he's a great player for me.
I'll tell you what, you know, as if he, let me put my teeth back in. If he as it was last weekend, I'll tell you one thing that really impressed me.
Go on.
Patterson, he never stopped chasing ball. He
No,
never stopped.
no, he never does. Never
When
does.
he hadn't got the ball, mate, he was closing down the keeper, closing down
Yeah.
defenders, dropping back into midfield to try and win. Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, Cole, that's a sign
Brilliant.
of, I mean, that
Brilliant.
sounds cliche, but it's a sign of a championship player all day long. That's the
Yeah,
difference between
yeah.
a League Two and a player that's got that skill set.
And the Colonel was on another level.
Yeah.
Was on another level. Brilliant.
I think so. Craig just said, I thought we had a good ref because he didn't make the game about.
Well, he made it about us, Craig.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Luca's joined us as well, and he said, "Hi,
Hi, Luca.
All good. Nice to see you, Luca.
Hang on,
Thanks for joining. He's doing your pose again, Luca.
That's Luca. The Luca look.
The Luca
look. That's the look. That's the look.
But no, I think lack of control, high press, maybe the two things we need to focus on. But I'm going to focus on the positives. Craig Mack back in goal, solid defence, grinding out a win when we weren't the best team probably on the day. All the signs of a team that you're going to get promotion if they carry on like that. So
the worrying thing for me is it's been 3 games in pretty close succession where we've been pretty similar in the way we've approached it, the way we've played the game, and like Luke said, we don't want to be known for that blueprint of how to beat the Dons. So we've got to do something pretty soon.
Absolutely. I mean, so Ryan just made a comment there. He says, "Would you make?"
Yes, Ryan, I would.
I would. 100%. Yeah, no questions. But that's no disrespect to Joe. I think Joe's a good player, and he's we've seen some cracking sort of form come out of him in the last few games. So, not to knock him, but you've got some of that experience. You should be taking and making the most of it. Luca just said, "Buzzing Tranmere away. Expect another class flog from Luca." I do think Tranmere will be a hard game. Well, funny you should say that because we've got a video coming up on that before our guests come from the show.
Oh well,
it's almost like Luca's leading me into it, but we're not quite there yet. Isn't Mendes Lang now the vice? No, I believe it's still Joe Tomlinson at the moment, Harry. Exactly. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's up to Paul Warney at the end of the day. Warney knows what he's doing, and you can't question it. But there's some good characters. I mean, that's the make of a team. Like the fact that we're all talking about should this person, that person be vice captain compared to last season, just goes to show how many really good players we've got and the attitude of some of those as well. Harry did say as well, Marvin Ekpateta never fails to terrify me every time he gets on the ball. Yeah, it feels like that.
Can't we come up with a song?
Well, our defence is terrified. Marvin's not on fire. Our defence is terrified.
Our fans are terrified.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one, Harry. On his day, he can be great. But I get your point. There's some inconsistency there. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, that's another conundrum before January, isn't it? You've got Maguire, you've got all the other options.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Who would you get rid of? I would get rid of Lecco, Hogan. I could see Crowley going.
Potentially.
Yeah, and I could see a couple of our kids going. But don't feel bad about it. If we've got to go up, mate, we've got to be ruthless, haven't we? Got to be ruthless.
Exactly. Sheila said, "Sounds like we've got a good ref for the Tranmere game."
No, it's his 7th EFL game.
Yeah, God help us.
It's his 7th. Strangely, he's only refereed 6 EFL games in 3 years.
Is it? Okay.
And he's got a bit of a penchant. He's had 8 games, and I think he's sent 6 people off.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
He likes sending people. I think he gets a kick out of watching them walk back to the dugout.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the fetish. Maybe it's a fetish. But yeah,
is there such a thing as that sort of?
Who knows, Cole? Who knows? But I mean, it's going to be. I mean, look. The fact is that we got the result. That's the main thing. I think. I just think some players look a bit jaded. There are a few options that we could have off the bench potentially from Saturday. We'll see. But look, again, like as everyone said, a win is a win, and you're going to take it all day long, even if we don't play well.
I mean, January. Well, January's not far away.
About 5-6 weeks away. It's not that far.
5-6 weeks. I'd like to see us start bullying some of these teams with money.
It would, but then I just think an extra few quid in January if you get another.
We got loads of money. How
Joel
much do you
Harry
want for
Enfield,
him? Ah,
loads of
no
money.
problem.
Loads of money, but no,
Yeah.
it depends. I mean, if in January, I don't see us going big with loads of different players, maybe 2 or 3 that would really make a difference if we can. But yeah, I think that's the difference. If we can get a few top quality players in, it will just tilt the balance.
Hogan, Lecco, and Crowley will be gone, and we'll replace them with 3 good players.
Who knows? I hope so, mate.
I'll see you in the middle of the pitch about May. All right.
Yes. I'm not tempting fate. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Ryan just said, I'm very proud to be a Dons fan at the moment. I was last year. I just hid it away a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough season last season, Ryan. You know, and again, I think it grinds you down after a while. It doesn't mean you're not any less of a fan.
Indeed.
And that's the joys of football, right? There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, and there's going to
Anyway,
be.
you're going to show that video?
I might do.
Okay.
I might do. I might not. It depends.
Everybody's on tenterhooks.
I know you're on tenterhooks as well, but
am.
we will do in a second. But before we do that, Glyn has said, Colin, how did your car go? First and foremost,
Glyn, on the way home, the fault cleared. Unbelievable. Okay. So I'm fingers crossed. I've had a problem-free week up here. So great.
Fingers crossed. There we go.
Yeah.
And he said we will take the win. Had plenty of refs who would have given the other team the decisions. We've seen it all the time, Glenn, haven't we? Too many times down at Stadium MK. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And, again, Salford, I'm taking nothing away from them. I think they're a good, well-organised side. You'd expect that with Carl. And I've no doubt they carry on the way they're playing. They'll be
they were in third.
Yeah, I think they'll be.
Let's not forget that. They were in third, you know.
Yeah.
So, they haven't got up there by hook. You know.
No, nobody's full. And I think Carl and his team will be up there with us there or thereabouts come the shake-up at the end of the season, to be honest.
I reckon, from what I saw of them playoffs.
Yeah, and they got a bit of money this season, don't forget, as well.
Yeah.
We talked
There's
about
a few clubs coming to a bit of money this season, isn't there?
There is, but that makes it a little bit tougher in some ways, but it makes it more interesting for the neutral fan as well. Anyway,
it just shows you, doesn't it? Salford, we beat them, and I think they're down to 9th,
not 7th, 8th. I don't know. You probably got the table there somewhere.
No, I haven't. No,
have you not?
9th or 10th. No. I'm just sorry.
Yeah. So again, Luca just said the same. He just said that Salford were tough to break down. Colin Aiden, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Well, in Colin.
Never take it away from you, Cole. Craig said, would you push Kelly forward and bring in a quality DM enforcer? Yeah, I mean,
we need somebody. We need. I said last week when Collar and Gilby aren't on it, we struggle.
Well, I think we both said last few weeks, we're missing that Kasumu type to a lesser extent of Boateng, but a real bit of a knucklehead.
We're not saying by Kasumu, but we're trying to give a description of a type of player that we need. Yeah,
exactly that. And
somebody with a bit of steel in the middle of the park.
So Chris, just knighting him again. He so Andrew said he'd still keep Crowley, but he said AFC have no money.
No, I know. Good, isn't it?
We should see how that plays out.
Won't be long. The old begging bowl will come out again.
I just think you should get a banner and just put down the Pete won't save you twice. But what do I know? Tongue in cheek. Well, there we go.
Oh, there's an idea.
Exactly.
Andrew killed Crowley.
Yeah, he's a good player, Andrew. I don't disagree with it. It's just he's unlucky. He's had injuries and it's been tough to find a way into the team, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're 9th at the moment. Colin Giddens has just said, so thanks for that, Cole.
Cheers, Cole.
For Salford. But yeah, without further ado, I will put in our preview before we start talking about all things.
I'm looking forward to this.
So this new section, we need to get a jingle. We need to get a jingle from our jingle.
Oh, you need a jingle.
We might need a jingle, but
okay.
As I say, new section. We're going to be doing this weekly, and just again, massive thank you to Chris and Ryan who have taken the time to do this. So I shall.
When I get home, I shall open up my editing suite and see what I can do.
See what we can do. Anyway, run VT.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are all well today. It's me, Chris, and I'm here with Ryan today. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm good, and it's great to be back. Thank you, Teddy and Colin, for having us on.
So we're going to be doing a little bit of a new bit of content for Aidan and Colin on Dons Unplugged. It will essentially be our weekly predicted 11 for the game ahead and sort of look at as to what the injuries of the squad have been recently. And we'll go from there. All right, so straight into the 11 that started against Salford on Saturday. So we had 3 changes to the team that started against Barnet last week. So the first of all being Craig McGillivray, who came back in for Connell Truman. Second of all being Joe Tomlinson making his first return to the squad and first start since his injury back in August. And then the third one is Callum Patterson come back into the side of the Dons, switching up to a 5-2-3 with a midfield pivot of Gilby and Liam Kelly and a front three of Mendes Lang, Patterson and Hepburn Murphy. This was the side that finished the second half against Barnet.
On the 44th minute, Hepburn Murphy went off with a hamstring injury, and Will Collar come on. In Paul Warren's press conference, it said that Nathaniel Mendes-Lang went off with a groin injury, and that's the reason why KTS came on. With the substitution of Will Collar coming on, that made the formation of a 5-3-2 with Gilby playing just behind Patterson.
So moving on to the injuries ahead of this week's game against Tranmere, it's expected that Nathaniel Mendes-Lang will more than likely miss this game after suffering the groin injury against Salford. And Russian Hepburn Murphy is also expected to miss the game, being out for up to potentially 4 weeks of a hamstring injury.
I know Aidan won't care about this, but Scott Hogan has had a setback with his injury. It's unknown what it is. Hopefully we can find out later on in the week with Paul Warren's press conference. Obviously, Kane Wilson is out injured with a knee injury till January.
It is expected that Gethin Jones will more than likely return against Tranmere next week. However, it's still unconfirmed. And also Connor Lemon-Eye Evans with his cracked shin is back in training, but we're unsure whether he will be fit. So these two are potentially likely, but we're not 100% sure at this moment in time.
Here's the news that everyone has been waiting for. Aaron Collins has been given the green light to be in the squad against Tranmere. I'm very excited about him being part of it. The only thing I've known about him is his hat-trick against Hitcham, so be excited to see what he can do this part of the season.
And on to the last bit of this segment of the video will be the predicted 11 against Tranmere this week. I think we'll see two changes to the side that started against Salford. I think Will Collar will come back into the midfield, setting up that trio of Kelly, Gilby and Collar. And then, I think this is a bold prediction, but Collins will go straight into the team alongside Patterson up top. I do think Hepburn Murphy will obviously clearly miss out on the squad this week. Mendes-Lang potentially on the bench, but like I said, I think it will be Collins and Patterson up top, and we'll revert to that 5-3-2 system. I don't feel the need that we need to make any other change. The defence obviously looked quite good against Salford. Not really any real chances conceded. The wing backs, no problem with that. Tomlinson into the side, and I think we should keep his run going. And hopefully, Collins and Patterson up top should be quite dangerous.
And finally, our score prediction for the week. We have both gone for 2-1 Dons win. Chris has gone for Allen to bag 2, and I've said Gilby and Patterson to bag 1 each. Thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed this new section for the Dons Unplugged. We will be back next week for the game against Fleetwood at home. We will now hand you back to Aidan and Colin for the rest of their show.
There you go.
I like that.
Good, right?
I like it. I like it.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Ryan. Really good.
No, a wonderful addition. Wonderful addition of what's going on with the team. I mean, I don't know quite what. I don't know. I'm going to think of a jingle for that.
It's a good one, though, right?
I might have to. We might have to brainstorm.
The professional content as well, because the little changes with the team, everything.
Yeah,
Chris and Ryan, brilliant. Really appreciate it.
I might have to, have a bit of a brainstorm with you about a jingle.
Exactly. Anyway, we've got our guests in the green room, so that leads us quite nicely into that shortly. Before we get to Matt, we do have Russ said AFC attendances have been down recently with their money troubles. Is there another week?
Hopefully.
I'm saying nothing, Russ.
Sooner they go broke, but they keep saying, sooner you go broke, the better. There is no chance. We're billionaires.
Right, I'm saying nothing.
You got no chance.
It's just not relevant. It's just not relevant. So at the end of the day.
No. But it would be funny to see him go bust, go into administration or something. That'd be funny.
Exactly. There you go. Chris has just said the Chris and Ryan forecast. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. The song. Don's away. Aha. I like it. He's gone Chris and Ryan.
Okay, all right.
Like it. Aha.
I'll have to work with that. I'll have to see what.
There you go. See what you can. You've given some inspiration, Chris. But
for those that wonder, I do all the technical stuff.
All the hand movements of the DJ and like the little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my intro. Everything, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Aiden's the brains behind it. I just type a few things, you know.
There we go.
Right.
Dave Boster's joined us as well. Evening, Dave. Thanks for joining.
Evening,
he
Dave.
said on the AFC rumour that training being held on the common for a new team.
Yeah, well, why not? They've done it before.
Oh my days. Anyway, back to the Dons, as in us.
Yeah, well, why not?
Um,
The real Dons.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think, like, so going into this weekend, obviously we'll bring Matt in a second, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any stretch. It's
No.
always a tough game. It's
No.
always a tough game against Tranmere.
Yeah.
You know, on their day can be great. I felt a little sorry for them last season. I thought they were unlucky with, you know, a bit of a merry-go-round with the management. I know when we
Yeah, but they got out of it in the end.
got out
You
of
know, I mean, fair play. They got out of it.
I expected they would. I didn't think they'd go
fair
down.
play. They got out.
But yeah, I mean, again, always a good game against Tranmere. Always enjoy the battle, to be honest. And going to be a tough one to call, but we'll talk about that with our.
Well, we're going to have a go.
Or try anyway. With a trip to the moon.
I want to know. I can't remember last year. Why did they call it a trip to the moon?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll bring Matt in. Matt can remind us. Hi, Matt. Thanks for joining us again. Good to see you.
Good evening. No problem at all.
All right, Matt. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
So, Matt, Colin has forgotten
Matt, I've forgotten
of the trip to the moon and where it came from. Would you be kind enough to enlighten him again?
Yeah, so the most successful manager in our history is Johnny King. Took Tranmere up in the 70s as a manager, played for them in the 60s and got a promotion, and then had a couple of more in 89 and 91. And when he came back to Tranmere in the late 1980s, when they were in a spot of bother at the wrong end of the Football League, he said he can't promise anyone success, but he can promise them a trip to the moon.
Brilliant.
There you go, Cole. I'll test you on this time next season if we're.
I'll try and remember that later in the season.
Exactly stuff. But anyway, look, Matt, thank you so much again for joining us. Really appreciated you last season and again coming on again tonight. So, I guess since the last time we spoke, firstly, congratulations on not getting pulled into the relegation battle. I know even for us it was a tough one, but I didn't think you would. I thought you had some great quality there to keep yourself above that line. But how have you seen things like pre-season? How have you seen things so far this season? How you've been going? I mean, from I suppose a scorecard, you know, are you kind of happy with where you are? Did you expect to be higher? What's kind of been the overall so far?
I don't think any Tranmere fan could honestly sit here hand in heart and say that they're happy at being in the bottom third of League Two, regardless of what's going on off the field at the club. That is not the position that I expect them to be in, or anyone really expects them to be in. But I think there are mitigating circumstances as to why they are where they are in the table. They've had I know it's an excuse that no one likes to hear, but they've had a heck of a lot of injuries this year. Number one goalkeeper, Luke McGee's out. So we've got 44-year-old Joe Murphy in goal.
We spoke about Joe last year. Do you remember? I said thought he was the oldest keeper in the EFL.
I think, well, he's still going. So he's every
44.
Every time he plays, he's extending his record as Tranmere's oldest player. So Luke McGee's been missing for a couple of months now. Leo Connor's been out for a couple of months, bar a comeback game in which he went off injured again. Ethan Bristow, where they brought in, has barely played. Jordan Turnbull's been out for the last few weeks. Christian Dennis has missed the majority of the season through injury. So they've had a heck of a lot of injuries, and it hasn't helped with a settled squad. But particularly when three of those injuries are in defence and one of them's the goalkeeper, that's never a good thing. But I also don't think the results are necessarily show the progress that has been made on the field. They are a much harder team to beat than last year. I know both games last year against you guys were 1-1, weren't they? But,
yeah.
You know, teams were putting 3 or 4 past Tranmere with regularity last year. They went to places like Gillingham and Colchester and got hit for 3. They got a 5-1, I think it was, at Walsall. So there have been some terrible results last season. This year, the games are a lot closer, and bar an absolutely insipid display in a match against Barnet at Prenton Park, I would argue that they've been in every single game that they've played in, really, and just haven't necessarily come out on the right side. They tend to have a 15-20 minute spell in every single game where they really go at you and create chances, and it's just a case of whether they take enough of them to either get back in a game or put a game to bed during that period.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's we could probably empathise Cole from last season. It's tough. You know, you want to run, you've got injuries.
And we've had injuries as well, haven't we? So, I mean, we had a bit of a dodgy spell, but I mean,
exactly.
We have got lucky a few times, Matt. I'll tell you, we got lucky on Saturday. We should never have beaten Salford, and probably one of our strongest teams we put out as well, wasn't it?
Absolutely. So, I mean, speaking of change as well, Matt, one of the things obviously was your manager situation that's happened. So I think Andy Crosby obviously has come in, who was a central defender, I think, over 715 games, I think scored about 43, scoring in 43 games. But he's had several jobs in the back room, mainly sort of as a side of Neil Adkins at Sheffield Wednesday, Scunthorpe, Southampton. Nigel, exactly. But I mean, what's your take on him? I mean, have you been sort of relatively impressed with what he's trying to instill in Tranmere so far?
Well, the job he did last year was nothing short of phenomenal, in my opinion. I know Tranmere never dropped into the bottom two last season, but that was a miracle in itself. They were so bad. They went on a spell of losing 10 successive away games.
Really?
And by the time Nigel Adkins went, they'd gone 10 games without a win. They'd lost 7 of those and drawn 3. They were only heading one way. The writing was on the wall. The fans had completely and utterly turned. And it's a mystery to me how it went on as long as it did. They lost in November in the FA Cup first round to Oldham, who, of course, were then non-league, but also saw Mickey Mellon coming back to Prenton Park, having been sacked by Mark Palios a couple of years earlier, despite the fact he's someone who's guided Tranmere to a lot of success in his time at Prenton Park. So he came back and as a non-league club beat Nigel Adkins Tranmere. And for me, that was the period where it could have gone. It was allowed to go on for another 3.5 months. And eventually at the end of February, I think it was, they decided to finally make the change. And for me, not saying the writing was on the wall, but they were only going one way until that change was made. And Crosby came in and he brought a few players back in from the cold. Josh Hawkes, who for some reason Nigel Adkins never fancied, came back into the side. Christian Dennis was used more as a central striker. He profited from Regan Hendry being back from injury. And he changed the system, went with this quite strange format of 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, and 1 central striker. But the 3 at the back, the 2 who played either side of the main central defender were both fullbacks, Leo Connor and Connor Wood, who's actually now dropped down to Peterborough Sports. So it was a strange system, but it caught a few people off guard and it really worked. And they suddenly, under Adkins, they were scoring less than a goal a game and they were conceding 2 or 3 per game. He turned that round. They were getting clean sheets. They were scoring 2 or 3 per game. And, they beat teams like Chesterfield 4-0. And there was the game you'll have all seen the highlights from where they came from 3-0 down and drew 3-3 with Accrington.
Yeah.
And, you said right at the top of this chat, Aidan, like kind of well done for not being dragged into that relegation fight. And I remember saying it at the time. People will look back on that League Two table from last season and say, "Oh, Tranmere were never anywhere near it." They were. They didn't secure their place in League Two until the penultimate game when they beat Crewe, and then they hammered Newport on the final day 4-1 down at their place. So the gap between them and the bottom 2 was exacerbated by 2 wins over the final 2 games and Carlisle not picking up anything. So actually, right until the back end of the season, there were a lot of people who were still really worried about where they were going to finish up. So they were right in it. Crosby performed a miracle to keep them up, in my opinion. And then it's always a really strange one because I am often of the opinion that it's very rare that a caretaker or a firefighter comes in, does a good job, and then is able to take the club to the next level.
Yeah, because with him at Port Vale, because he was at Port Vale, wasn't he? He was the interim manager and doing very well. And as soon as they made him the permanent manager, the form of Port Vale just went out the bloody window and they dropped like a bloody stone. And in the end, they got rid of him.
Yeah, well, he took them up, didn't he? He was the man credited with taking them up to League One after the terrible circumstances with Darrell Clark. But look at, I'm talking all levels of the game. Look at people like Sean Dyche, for example, who came in as a firefighter at Everton and could never quite then get them onto that next level. Or Allardyce is another one who, through history, apart from what he did at Bolton, he's kind of been pigeonholed as that kind of firefighter. Neil Warnock, firefighter. And it's then very difficult to once you've got that job done to then find a different way of playing and take the team to the next level. And I was always wary of that as Crosby was doing well, but then the appointing him as permanent manager just became irresistible. You couldn't not appoint him as manager because he did so well. And he brought in some good signings over the summer. I think they've been unlucky in a few games. I think maybe he could have been a little more a little less rigid with formation at times. But then at the same time, I like a manager who has a style of play and knows what he wants to do. But times with the injuries, there hasn't quite necessarily been the players to play the 11 or the formation that he wants. But I still think they're only 3 or 4 results away from being a very comfortable mid-table team. And
this is what we were saying earlier. This is what we were saying earlier about Salford. They were third when they played us and dropped down to 9th in the space of one game. I mean, it's that tight, isn't it?
It is that tight, Cole. It is that tight. And that's the whole point, right? It's like a couple of wins, you're on a run, Matt, and you're right up there again. It's one of those. I think Lucas just put on here, just as a comment, he said, problem he thinks with Tranmere is that you score goals but concede goals. He feels that you'll finish mid-table. But he said, do you think with the squad that you have now with a different manager, and if you alluded to it a little bit, that they would be potential for the playoffs? Because on paper, it is a good squad.
Nothing will change at Tranmere until they've got a new owner.
Right.
That's just they are a club who have been on the slide under several good managers for 5-6 years. They've finished in a lower position in each of the last 5 seasons in League Two since they got demoted from League One. And there are some very good managers who failed during that time. If you want to put failed in inverted commas, Keith Hill got them to the playoffs and then got sacked, more for what he said and more than actually what was happening on the pitch. Mickey Mellon, 2 promotions in his first spell. Second spell, he was always fighting against the tide. Nigel Adkins, we've seen what he's done elsewhere in his career, and he couldn't do it at Tranmere. I think, he was maybe a manager on the slide, but he's got a very good pedigree. So for me, there has to be a relevant. You have to temper your expectations with looking at what's going on off the field before you can match them up with on the field.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Ryan just obviously mentioned as well. How's Norman doing for you? Obviously with the MK Dons connections.
I like him. He's been in and out of the team at the moment because we've got a really good wing back on loan from Leicester, who he is fighting for a place for, and Norman was only on the bench on Saturday because of that. But I think since he struggled under Adkins, but since they've moved to the back 5 and he has played as the right wing back, I think that's really got the best out of him. And he's a very good crosser of the ball. He's useful in the air in both boxes.
I always thought for us, he was brilliant at the back stick.
I really liked him.
Nodding it back in. I like Cam Norton.
Yeah, I'm a fan as well.
Well, we only had him on a year contract, which was ludicrous.
Mad, yeah.
Ludicrous. But that was Pete Winkleman.
Yeah.
All over, mate. All over.
Well, he's got a few quid sloshing around, so you never know. He might be in the market for another football team at some point. Who knows?
Do you fancy moving to Milton Keynes, Matt?
Exactly right. But no, speaking of which, I will say, and people have made some comments about Tranmere having an old keeper is crazy. Let's not forget Gordon in goal for Scotland yesterday was in his 40s as well. So I will say to anyone out there knocking 40-year-olds in goal.
I was playing till I was over 40 in goal.
No, I
wasn't any good.
Joe was in goal for us in the League Cup final in 2000, so that kind of shows you his longevity. And he's obviously went away and played in the Premier League for West Brom. His first touch in the Premier League was saving a Michael Owen penalty, and he's been successful at the likes of Scunthorpe and Bury and Coventry in between coming back to us. So it's nice because we don't have an academy anymore, which is a big bugbear of mine. Big bugbear. And he is the only homegrown player really they've got in the squad. So even though he's 44, so it's nice to still have that connection. He's and look, you can't foresee your main goalkeeper being out for 2, 3, 4 months, whatever it's going to end up being by the time he comes back. And he's the goalkeeping coach. He's still clearly a very good player. He's not quite as quick off his line as McGee, and that split second I think makes a big difference in commanding your box. He's still incredible shot stopper, still does command his box, but there's just that split second that sometimes makes a big difference. And I guess, look, Tranmere have done it for years. Their cheap option has always been to have the backup goal, or often been to have the backup goalkeepers, also your goalkeeping coach. You'll remember John Achterberg, who was with Tranmere in the 2000s, and then went to Liverpool in 2009 as their goalkeeping coach. He was goalkeeping coach and second choice goalkeeper. Eric Nixon was third choice goalkeeper. Tony Warner was goalkeeping coach. It's just what Tranmere do to try and save a few quid.
Yeah, and people moan about our backup keeper.
Well, exactly, right? Exactly. But
Yeah.
I will, just to be clear to anyone watching, I will not have anything negative said about people in their 40s in goal. I think they do a good job. So
Thank
there we
you.
go. End of story. Even interesting comment, that's not on this one, but on the Facebook, was from Dave. Dave said, talk about one of the oldest players. Said, when did Peter Shilton play until? I think he was quite late 40s as well, from memory.
Yeah. I think he was still playing for England when he was about 40, wasn't he?
Well, it's 40 something, wasn't it? Yeah. I
Might
mean,
have been.
I think he didn't retire until he was in his 50s, Dave, but I don't know if that was an EFL or he'd gone part time or whatever by then. But yeah, another great
Yeah.
keeper.
What about Scott Hogan? How old was he? He
Say no
looks
more.
like he plays like he's 50.
Plays like he's 50, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, coming back to Tranmere, obviously, Matt, from yourself, that top scorer this season for Tranmere is Amari Patrick with 6 goals and 4 assists. I mean, so, you know, how have you sort of seen him fare this season? Do you think that, you know, he's definitely one for you to keep putting those goals in? Do you see that consistency continuing?
Goal scoring's tapered off a little bit of late. He's actually largely of late been deployed as a left wing back, and that is a product of the injuries that Tranmere have got. Because there are so many injuries in defence, one of the left wing back options, Ethan Bristow, is out injured, and the other is Patrick Brough. But because there are so many injuries in central defence, Patrick Brough is having to play on the left side of the back three at the moment, so it's trying to find an option. I quite like Amari Patrick as a left wing back in home games, where the emphasis is on you to attack. I do not like it there as an option in away games because he's not particularly strong defensively. But going forward, he's lethal. And teams have kind of got a bit savvy to it now. If you show him inside on his, or if you allow him to come inside on his right foot, he will put a shot in the top corner from 20 yards. He's that good. But if you show him down the left-hand side, go on his outside, he doesn't like using his left foot, and the productivity just ceases to exist by the time he gets to the byline.
But you're writing all this down, Aidan.
Yes, I'll let Warney know. I mean, another one that interests me, particularly from a Tranmere perspective, was obviously Joe Ironside, who a few years ago was quite prolific from Doncaster. But again, you know, what's been the situation with him at Tranmere? Because he's always, you know, historically been quite a threat up front for you know, for other teams, really.
Got him in August, very back end of August, and we were flying at the time. We'd picked up 8 points from our first 4 games, I think I'm right in saying, and he came in and form tapered off a little bit, and I don't think we knew how to play with him in the side, and I don't think he quite knew how to fit into the system. But we've changed it a little bit over the last few weeks, and instead of having the lone central striker, he's been up there with Connor Jennings, and that it's worked a treat. And he scored 2 in his last 2 at home. I think he's got 3 in all now for the club. Look, he needs service, and if you put the ball in the box, he'll hopefully be in the right place at the right time. He got a goal on Saturday against Cheltenham, thanks to some horrific defending, which no one at Cheltenham will ever want to watch back. But he was there. He pressed and he stabbed the ball home. So good to see him scoring.
Was that the one where it was a bit of a soft back pass to the keeper?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I saw
so
that.
They gifted us one, and then we duly gave them one back about 20 minutes later.
It's nice to know you're charitable.
Well, exactly. It's good to see him finding some form, and I think with a strike partner and with people like Whittaker, and if you can get the ball into the box from Amari, you've got a good chance of him getting a few goals.
Shilton retired at 47, we've just been told.
Yeah, he did. I knew it was late.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Sam.
Matt, just change your direction a little bit. Who do you reckon the best team you've played so far this season, and probably the worst as well?
Shrewsbury were pretty bad when we played them, but that could have just been a bad day for them.
They had a bad start to the season, didn't they? They looked awful. Yeah, I said to Aidan a number of times, you know, in our early shows, I'd seen Shrewsbury in the highlights, and I said they are atrocious.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, I think we put 4 past them, and I know they've improved since then, but they had a bad start to the season, and they were poor that day. And who's been good? Walsall were decent. Our form this year is we haven't lost to any of the teams below us. We haven't beaten any of the teams above us. But then the teams above us, like Swindon, needed a 93rd minute goal to win that one. Yeah, we lost 3-1 to Salford, but we had one of those 20-minute periods against Salford where we got it back to 1-1, and then honestly could have had 4 or 5 didn't take the chances when they came, and eventually lost 3-1. So you're probably looking at the Walsall defeat and saying they were the best. Barnet came to Prenton Park and won 2-0, but Tranmere were awful that day, absolutely awful, and everyone at the club knows that. So I would say probably of what we've seen so far, probably Walsall were the team who've been the hardest to come up against.
Now, don't get me wrong when I say this, but you've won 4 times this season. Do you know the highest ranked team you've beaten?
Oh, they're all below us. That's the
19th. Yeah. But when you watch Tranmere, they don't give that impression. Do you understand what I mean? You know, they look like a better team than they are.
Well,
I think they are.
Or their points are showing.
Yeah, but I think they are. I think for me,
that's what I mean.
I mean, Matt's
Tranmere are a better side than their position.
Matt's the expert here from a Tranmere perspective. But I mean, even last season, like when I saw the table, I just said they can't go down. You look at that squad; there is a good enough squad there. Same this season. I generally think that. And again, obviously, the financial side and the ownership is always going to play a bit of a hindrance. But there is the quality there to go on a run and to be pushing for playoffs. Absolutely, no doubt.
I mean, what I meant was they're in 16th, but they feel like they should be in about 8th or 9th.
Should be higher.
Like
yeah. It feels like it anyway.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I say they just when they have momentum in games, they're just not taking the chances as they should, and they are prone to giving away a sloppy goal, which has been irritating in games like that. And that Swindon one, lad puts it in the top corner from 25 yards with his wrong foot in the 93rd minute, and you hold your hands up and go, one of those days. But yeah, they've got a good enough squad. But as I say, when you've got your main goalkeeper and a lot of injuries at the back, it is sometimes very hard to cope with. And when the wind's blowing the wrong way at the wrong end of League Two, it can be quite difficult to get out of it. But their recent run, if you use all competitions, 11 games, they've only lost 3. They've won 4. They've drawn whatever the rest is. But those defeats, one of them was to Stockport, who are top of League One when we played them. One of them was to Swindon, who are top of League Two at the moment. And the other was that bad Barnet game. So they're losing to good sides.
Yeah. I know what you mean about trying to get a result when you're down the bottom end. I mean, like us last season, we couldn't buy a result, could we? If we'd have offered them money before the game, we'd have still lost. You know what I mean? It was, we just couldn't get a result, could we? And then all of a sudden, we clicked with 2 or 3 games and, salvage. Well, if you can call it salvage.
I mean, going into like the weekend's game, obviously, this is a hard one for me. But I mean, how do you see the game playing out, Matt? I mean, in terms of from a Tranmere perspective on the weekend.
Well, I've not seen much of MK Dons this year, so it's hard to comment on what kind of style you've got going under Paul Warne. But I find that Tranmere tend to be best against a team who wants to attack, and that leaves a little bit of space for them, for Amari to get in behind, and they can exploit that better than a compact team who are only interested in defending. Now, results against the teams at the top end of the division don't necessarily suggest that's the case this year, but that has been over the last 18 months. I would say that's the way things have played out. The one thing that I do like at the moment is that there are players coming back into the squad, and there are therefore options for the manager to change things. And he used his bench absolutely superbly on Saturday. He made 5 subs, and all of them had a big impact on the game. 2 or 3 weeks ago, he didn't have that option. So I think, they've got a good chance. They're playing better. They are creating chances. The strikers are working harder. Not working harder. They're working better as a pair. It's just a case of keeping them out at the other end, which has been the big problem for the majority of the campaign.
And where do you think that weakness lays at the back? Or in what sort of scenario do you think Tranmere are more vulnerable than any other period during the game?
It's they're vulnerable late in matches. I can tell you that. Yeah, they concede quite a few. The amount of goals they concede in the first half compared to second there's a huge disparity. They give away too many goals through avoidable errors, usually from a pass in midfield that is loose and gets picked up by the opposition, and they haven't quite got their shape back again, and suddenly the opposition pounce on them and put it in the back of the net. That's been the case for certainly a couple of the goals against Cheltenham on Saturday and for previous matches as well. I don't think there's one particular weakness, though. I just think sometimes they find a way of shooting themselves in the foot.
If there is a way, they'll find it.
We can relate to that over the last few
Yeah,
seasons.
we've been there. I mean, last season, every time we sort of made a half an error, it was a goal every time. It was uncanny, but there you go. That's football.
I mean, Colin, how do you see it playing out this weekend?
Well, I mean, I don't know whether Matt caught the start of the show, but we were talking about Mendes Lang and Hepburn Murphy potentially both out at the weekend. Both picked up an injury, both limped off. We've heard no news, so we don't know how good or how bad it is. But there's going to be changes in the team. But there's a rumour that Aaron Collins is back. So that's going to be something to see, because I watched him in the pre-season and he was outrageous. So, outrageous. But I'm a bit concerned, really, that we haven't settled very well in 2 or 3 games of late. And I think we've got to get in and assert our authority, or try and assert some authority on it. What's that?
What is it? Ryan said, sorry to say, Matt, I'm now seeing this being a 6-0. That's optimistic, Ryan.
He's been drinking. Take no notice, Matt. He's been drinking.
I think we've only failed to score in one game this season, so exactly. the nil would be somewhat on. It's interesting you mentioned, so Rushy and Hepburn Murphy scored a hat-trick
against
at your place.
Against us, yeah.
And Aaron Collins was on loan at Tranmere in the 2016-17 season when they were down in the National League. And if you'd said to me he was going to be a really skillful, free-scoring EFL striker, I'd have questioned your sanity. But he has come a long, long way, and it's good to see. So glad that Rushian might not be available, because he's done damage against Tranmere for Swindon in the past. And
I see. Yeah, like you said, he scored a hat-trick for you against us. Can't remember when it was, but
2019. It was the year we got demoted. Yeah,
bloody hell,
that was it. But
if I remember rightly, Ben Reeves scored for us. I don't know.
A few years back now, Cole. But no, I don't know. I mean, everyone's going, it should be. We the problem is for us, and like to Matt,
there is no easy game. No. We know that. We know that.
But
there is no.
The times we've struggled, Matt, predominantly Barnet, Salford, and Bromley, is because of a high press. So the high press has been the issue for us. And I don't know if teams are starting to try that more with us, and it's caused problems. I mean, the Salford game, we defended very resolutely, but I didn't think we had a particularly great game in midfield or up front. We're just lucky to get a penalty in the first half at the death, and then managed to nab one in the injury time in the second half, which probably flattered it a little bit. But I think that, again, every time we play Tranmere, it's always a tough game. It's always a tough game.
I think Tranmere are going to have to go for us, aren't they?
Yeah, but
they're really going to have to go for us. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
if they don't, well,
I think
I don't care for them, but
I don't know. I mean, I think
if Tranmere come for us, it could be a hard game.
I think for me, look, the injuries we've got, we're going to have to change the system and potentially change the players up. That will have an impact. I mean, everyone said about Aaron Collins is slotting straight back, and he's been out injured for a long old time. So match fitness is always going to be an issue. I think it would be foolhardy to play him the whole game, because it's.
Oh, you'd be lucky to get 60 minutes out of him.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, it's a Prenton Park as well, and it's always in a respectful way as an away team. It's a horrible place to go because the ground's really enclosed. The fans are on top of you pretty much, and
it's a bloody cold up there as well.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a tough game. So, I mean, we had the result against Barnet, which I think we were lucky to come away with a point, to be quite honest. The game last weekend, yes, we won, but I'm not convinced that we won well, and I don't think a lot of people were.
No,
I can see this game being quite a difficult one as well. So my heart and my head are telling me two different things, but I think it's going to be another 1-1, to be quite honest. I can see it playing.
Here we go. That's exactly what I think.
Yeah, I do. I don't see either team losing it. I don't think either team will want to lose it. More importantly, for Tranmere, it's momentum again. For us, it's another point on the road. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are going, we're going to win. And we may do. And if we do win, it will be a 2-1. It won't be a very big margin, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, in my head, I'm sticking with 1-1. I think it's just going to be a really, really physical game.
Yeah.
and I think both teams will be trying to tease each other and try and work out the weak points. It probably hinges on who scores first. If we score first, that could make a difference. If Tranmere score first, it can make a difference. But I don't see it being
and
easy.
if you've got any connection to your club, Matt, you might want to tell them this referee that we've got on Saturday sent 6 players off in the last 8 games.
Yeah, I know a lot of people read things in like that. I always think it's quite hard to read into a referee's performance if you haven't seen the game. You don't know how dirty it's been or how bad the tackles were. But it's interesting what you say about the high press. We've got Richie Smallwood in midfield who is getting on a little bit, shall we say. And I don't think he's been as capable of doing that job. And I think that was behind some of the slip that we've had in September in particular. But Sam Finley's now back in the side after his lengthy suspension, and he is very much capable of that. He provides the legs, and I like a lad we've got on loan from Sheffield United called Billy Blacker, who I think is a classy player, and he might come back into the starting lineup on Saturday as well. So yeah, interesting to see how that midfield goes up against your one.
And I think that's where it'll be won or lost ultimately, and that's for me, because again, like the Salford game's an anomaly. I don't know, it sounds a really bad thing to say. We won it, but it was more by luck than judgment. And I think if the midfield are playing well, that's where you kind of feel the momentum is going to swing a bit more in our way.
We've said that several times this season, haven't we?
Yeah.
Last season we'd have lost that. This season we're made of slightly sterner stuff. But
yes, we have. And you look at it on paper, it's like anything. On paper, it's a great squad we've got, but at the same time, like I said, I take nothing away from Tranmere. It's like I know they've got some troubles in the ownership and everything else, but there is a good squad there. Every time we play them, full respect to them, it's always a tough game, and I just can't see it being any different. I can see them being right up for at home. I can see us not wanting to lose because we want to keep momentum. It all depends on the trend, I guess, who comes in for who. If there's injuries, that may change the dynamic, Cole, but it's a difficult
do you want to
one.
read that comment at the bottom?
Yeah, Tawny said, a little Shakespeare for you. Whom doth we play, I fear, from it's the free-scoring Tranmere. My liege, we better be at our best. If not, I see a Norman conquest. Text yellow gold. Text yellow gold. There we go.
See what we have to put up with, Matt?
I have to say, Tawny, that's really good. I actually like that. That's really creative. So well done.
Yeah.
There we go. Could be. There you go. Maybe Norman does score. If he does it, it's a 1-1. Tawny told us first. There we go. But,
so you're going 1-1. I'm going 1-1.
I can't see any difference to that, Cole.
Are you going to make it out trick, Matt?
Well, they were both 1-1 last year.
Yeah.
Only Oldham have drawn more games than Tranmere's 7 this year. So a draw is certainly not out of the equation. I have to say, Aidan, you seem to have a far higher opinion of Tranmere when they take on MK Dons than I do, because the amount of times I've been to Stadium MK and seen Tranmere, basically wiped to the floor with. There's one particular game in 2012-13 that stands out. There was another in 2010-11, I think, when was Jabbo Abire playing up front for you, and he absolutely turned Ashton Taylor, our centre-half, inside out for 90 minutes. So, there have been a few fearful trips to your place. But then I guess, we can all think back to Dale Jennings when he did the same to Didier Mann in 2010-11 as well.
Yeah.
So, there have been some good games, but I think a draw wouldn't be the worst result. Well, obviously, it's not the worst result for Tranmere because a defeat would be, but, it's not a bad result against a team in the position that MK Dons are.
Well, what I will say to you, Matt, is you're a very lucky man seeing Jabbo Abire playing like that. Because, trust me, I saw enough of him not doing that.
It was pretty rough. Yeah, Chris just said, Matt, I'm interested. Which player would you have from our squad right now? Is there any player at Dons that really stands out for you?
You mentioned Collins, and goal scoring is I know it's not what Tranmere are bad at, but it's the one thing that everyone needs. Maybe we'll take a goalkeeper.
You have Truman. There you go. Truman.
Not that Joe's a bad player, believe me.
Yeah, as he's only just back. He came back last week. He'd been out for a few weeks. He suffered a concussion at, where was it, Aidan?
Bromley.
Yeah. He had to be stretchered off with concussion, but he's back now. So, and we seem to play a little bit better with him in goal. So, no, you can't have him.
Dave Boss that just said on the screen, said the Edsey game was always the greatest match, Cole.
The what?
Edsey.
Oh yeah, Gareth
Yeah,
Edge. Yeah, yeah.
Gareth
Oh
Edge,
bloody hell, yeah.
Yeah, it's going back. It's going right back, Dave. You're
That's
showing your
going
age
right
there,
back.
making me feel like I
Yeah.
had
Well,
hair on a waistline.
we didn't necessarily throw that game, but you may remember we really rotated our squad because we were heading into the playoffs against Hartlepool the next week, so we rested quite a lot of our first team, and it came back to bite us because I feel it really cost us the momentum going into the playoffs because we lost the first leg 2-0, won the second leg 2-0 at Prenton Park, and lost on penalties. But ultimately, I think taking a lot of some first team players out of the firing line for a week really cost us. But yeah, I remember that one. Then obviously the year later, Delroy Facey scored the last minute goal that kept us up in 05-06 as well, in what was basically a shootout to see who stayed up, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody's just told me, or somebody just put up on the show, when we play you at our place, it's our last home game of the season.
It is, so it could be a vital few points either way by that point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Could be interesting.
Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's like one of those. I know Matt says he thinks I give Tranmere a bit more respect. I think at home though, Matt, it's a tough place to go. Any team wherever they are in the league, Prenton Park is a horrible place to go.
Well, at least we'll be in the cowshed.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible because it's just an old-fashioned ground. People are on top of you, and it's a tough, which is good. Don't get me wrong; those old-style grounds are great, but I don't think any team relishes going there. And I think when you're at home, you've got a little bit of home advantage. If you get the first goal, the crowd's behind you, anything can happen. But for me, respect where respect's due. I've always rated Tranmere as a really tough side to play. I think personally, Matt, I think you'll be all right.
Are you a Tranmere fan in disguise?
I had a few friends back in the day who were. So
I can remember we went up there and there was all that palaver with Chuck Zaniki.
I still will never forget I think I said to Matt last time, but the game, it was the League Cup when it was Leicester and Tranmere. That was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That was a cracking game.
Absolutely. I can remember the days of John Old.
I think it was Dave Challoner with the big long throws from memory. That was it. Yeah, so great game. But like I say, I think that I think for Tranmere, I think you'll be fine this season. Whether you're up the top or mid-table, I don't think you'll get dragged into it this season, Matt. I think there are 4 or 5 teams far worse than Tranmere will be this season.
Oh, that backhanded compliment that was.
No, I mean in a nice way. As in, I don't think I just can't see that happening. There's 4 or 5 teams like Crawley are just dreadful for me.
Yeah.
Accrington are going to be there or thereabouts. They're really hot and cold.
Yeah.
Shrewsbury.
There's a lot. Don't you feel like that, Matt? We say this every week that League 2 is so unpredictable.
Absolutely.
To get thrown out every week. I mean, Walsall got beat home, didn't they, on Saturday?
It's a bad league this year, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I said the same last year. I felt like last year was a real missed opportunity for probably 10, 15 teams to get out of it last year. It's not necessarily it's a bad league. I think it's a very the talents are evenly spread across the division, and there aren't many teams that you look at and say they are nailed on to be top 7.
Yeah.
But in the same way, like last year, you could see from quite a long way out that Carlisle and Morecambe were going to have bad seasons, and it was just a case of finishing above. I don't think that there are 2 clubs as bad as that this year. I think everything's a lot closer together, which makes for a more exciting season because it ultimately means, going back to a point you made, Aidan, that 2 or 3 wins, you're suddenly rocketing up the table. And it's just
very congested, isn't it?
Yeah,
very congested.
It is. No, it is. But again, looking at the table. Again, it's too early to say, I know, but I think Cheltenham will probably just about pull out of it. I think Newport County are in an absolute state. Harrogate Town's form, I think they've lost 4 of the last 5 and drew 1, so they're in free fall at the moment. Crawley are, and Shrewsbury. So I think for me, if I was betting now, and again, who knows, but my gut tells me it'll be Newport and Harrogate that go down this season.
I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Yeah, that's my feel for it. But like I said, I still think Tranmere mid-table pushing for the playoffs, if you're on a roll, is wholly achievable, Matt. I generally do. I think you've got a squad there, and you look at those teams in mid-table, and there's not anyone there. I think, cool, they've got a great squad. So I generally think, as I say, maybe I'm being an optimist, not being there every week, but I generally feel that you've got a squad that's capable. Absolutely.
How many are pulling at Prenton Park every week, Matt?
It was about 6,600 on
Right.
Saturday. The average is above 7,000 at the moment this season. I find it quite difficult for Tranmere this year in terms of crowds because they've lost a lot of their local teams over the last few years. Wrexham have gone, Stockport have gone, Carlisle and Morecambe have gone, and Carlisle always travelled really well. So obviously did Wrexham and Stockport. And they've gained Oldham this year, which is good, and Port Vale have come back. But I feel like we're in a place at the moment similar to where we were in the 2010s, actually, where there's no real rivalry, and I think that makes it difficult to pull in more fans because there's not quite as much to hang on to if you're having a season of mid-table mediocrity. But yeah, 6,500, 7,000, if you can get that every week when you're fighting at the wrong end of League Two, you're doing all right.
I'm not sure how many we're taking, Aidan. Do you?
I don't know. I think it's about 500 odd from memory.
Okay.
Which isn't a bad turnout, to be fair, for a long trek.
No, it's a bit of a way, isn't it? So, anyway, Matt, thanks as always for coming on. It's been absolutely brilliant. Can we ask you back in April? And I think we'll have a good idea by then where we all are.
Yeah. Maybe we're both in the top 3. There we go. Then Matt
all this speculation will be done, won't it? I mean, just about. We'll know roughly who's going down, who's going up, who's going to be in the playoffs, and be quite boring, really, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, Carl, if you're going to stick your neck on the line, so we always do this, but like a prediction, like where do you think Tranmere will be by the time we play them again?
I said I thought Tranmere should be about 8 or 9th.
I think they'll be pushing for playoffs.
Yeah,
that's
that is pushing for playoffs, isn't it? 8 or 9.
Exactly. So I mean, the same as you. I don't know whereabouts, but I think they'll be close.
I look at players like Joe Ironside when he played for Doncaster. He was scoring for fun, and I just get the feeling that very often you get a team kick on, and why not Tranmere?
Well, I can probably give you 20 reasons why not, but I'll stick.
We're trying to give you some positivity, Matt.
I'll take yours.
We do this every week, Matt. We pull teams up and
I just say, I hope, I genuinely hope you are.
Like Aidan, you look at the squad and you think there isn't any reason why you shouldn't be doing well. And you've said you've suffered a lot of injuries. When you get your injuries back,
exactly,
I can see you moving up.
I hope so. As I said right at the start of this, I don't think results have necessarily reflected how close games have been and how well we've played in spells in games this year. I mean, don't get me wrong, there have been some bad days and there have been some periods in games where we've played really badly as well. And that's when the match has been won or lost. But, look, given, as I said, they have finished lower and lower in the league for the last 5 seasons, anything above where they are now would be considered an improvement.
Where did you end up last season in the end?
Well, we didn't have to go into that League Cup playoff thing, the preliminary League Cup round, thanks to our win against Newport on the final day. So we must have been 20th, I think.
Crikey.
But if you look at the table, it was like an 11-point gap in the end down to the bottom 2.
Oh, right. I mean, as you know, we were well in it at one stage. I mean, a lot of our fans were absolutely bricking it, but we managed to. I think we won about 2 or 3 games, didn't we, late on? And that sort of.
I think for what did it for us, Cole, was the form until the beginning, sort of midway through December when it all went Pete Tong. If it wasn't for that, I think we would have been in serious trouble.
Yeah, we would have been,
It is what it is, but no. And look, Matt, the drop, it's got to change. It's got to change at some point. It can't always be down, so it's got to be up. So, I hope to say by the time
we'll find out in April, won't we?
Time we're back, I think we'll both be hoping for a good end to the season at least. Anyway.
We might be celebrating. We might be crying.
Probably crying, but
who knows? Who spent all this money and look what bloody.
And we're 15th. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Who knows?
Who knows? There's a lot of twists and turns to be had. But look, honestly, Matt, as always, thanks for coming on, and I genuinely wish Tranmere the best of luck. I hope you guys have a good season.
Not Saturday, but obviously
a real game.
Okay. Thanks very much.
All right, take care, Matt.
Take care, Matt.
See you again. Bye. What a lovely bloke. I'll beat you to it.
Well, he's a great guy.
He is.
And no, I know, I get it. It's like when we like this, right? And this is the thing when we talk about Don's, particularly last season, you can talk yourself into that depression because you see it every week. And you get frustrated.
Crikey.
But how many times do people come up to us and say,
I remember we talked to one fan last year, and I can't think who it was. He said, we've had so much bad luck and all the rest of it. He said, the only thing we haven't had at the moment is the main stand burning down.
Well, there was that.
I can't remember who it was,
No, I
but I
can't
mean,
remember who it
they'd had all manner of, poor results and, scenarios during
exactly,
the game
Cole.
where it all gone wrong,
But I think for me, like, we're the outsiders looking in on this one, and I get Matt. He sees it every week, and obviously, the ownership thing's horrible. I don't wish it on any club; it's awful. But
Mark Palios,
but I mean, there is a good squad there.
Basket case.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at and again I hate using the terminology on paper. They have got a nucleus of a really decent squad.
I know that. Yeah,
and you look at the teams around it. Barnet's a great example of a squad that's not necessarily the greatest on paper, but they've surprised people.
Yeah,
you've got people like Tranmere, you've got people like Colchester who've got
Bromley, they're a good unit.
Yeah.
Good unit.
But,
good unit.
You look at
You wouldn't say Salford have got any big stars, but look at them.
No, but again, I look at that mid-table and I think, with the exception of probably Colchester at the moment, Oldham, they just need someone up top. They're not. They've got a relatively good squad, but I'm surprised that Tranmere are what they are. I'll be honest. When I looked at the table, I was like, really?
I wish somebody could tell me now what's going to happen because I can't wait.
I don't want to tempt fate. I really don't. But I think we'll be top three. I genuinely think this season will be top three. It's got to be. I don't necessarily know if we'll win it, Cole, because Don's being Don's. We like to make it hard for ourselves.
I better eat a bit more chocolate.
Indeed. I think we'll be over the line. I think we'll be all right. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but I think you got Warney. We've got some good squad players. If we can get to January, still in the mix.
Like you said last week, January is going to be a big time for us. Big time.
It is, and I don't want to tempt fate because you look at the likes of Notts County a few seasons ago. We're always, good squad right up there and just fell away. And I don't think will happen. I think we've learned those lessons. The Mike Williamson season, the so close one, which is so painful. Still burns in the memory, but I think we've got the nucleus of a strong squad. This weekend, it's just gone. We won it 2-0. We probably would have lost that over the last few seasons. If we go to Tranmere and grind out a win, again, it's just a sign of a good squad. But just don't lose. I think the old adage is
winning on Saturday for me is a bonus. Winning on Saturday is a bonus.
Yeah, I think for me, I've always gone by the analogy, Cole. Win your home games, just don't lose away. If you can get a point on the road, you're doing all right. So I don't know. But I mean, hopefully, like Ryan's right, we win 6-0. But
only another 30 games left.
Exactly, not too long, right? Not too long. But I like I say, I think there's enough in the tank for us. We'll be fine. But I don't know. I think Tranmere is not one of those teams that is an easy team, irrespective of what their form is. But their form's not dreadful. Their form's not dreadful.
Anyway, moving on.
Have
we got any comments?
That was the last. I think the last comment we got was the.
Everybody's gone, have they? So it's just
no, we're still on. Ryan said the money we spent, we should be we should win the league. To be honest, is his thing.
I mean, as we know, money doesn't always
equal success. Doesn't equal success, does it? That's the whole thing. I'd like to agree, Ryan. I do, but we've been up and down this season a little bit. If we're right or if we're wrong with some of the games, the injuries haven't helped. And who knows? The people above us, they might have injuries, and who knows? It's a long season. Things will twist and turn.
If we lose on Saturday, we're going to be back here scratching our heads again.
Probably. But no, like I say, I think Warney's the right manager. I think the squad's there or thereabouts. I just think we just need a bit of consistency now. That's the biggest thing. I'm not overly worried, and which is scary because most seasons I'm like, okay, what's around the corner? But this season I don't feel that way, rightly or wrongly, to be honest, Cole. Yeah. But there we are.
Anyway, Chris and Ryan already touched on it. Would you argue with their team selection on Saturday? Collins
don't get me wrong. I think they're both good selections. My only concern is with Collins being straight in the team. I don't disagree necessarily that's an option, but whether it's a wise option if he's just come back from injury, I don't know if Warney will risk him straight away. I think he'll probably come on second half, last 15, 20 or something.
So Lecco then?
God, no. I don't know, Cole. I don't know. It's a really hard one, isn't it? It's a really hard one.
I said to Darren on Saturday, we're going to be slagging him off, and all of a
He'll
sudden
score a hat trick.
he's going to score a worldie or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows, Cole? Who knows? It's. I'm just trying to sit there and think who else you could put up there, really.
Can't think of anybody, can you?
Well, it depends. I mean, if Mendes Lang is cleared fit for the game, who knows? That changes the dynamic. I don't think he will be. I think he'll be on the bench, as Chris rightly said. But it's a tough one.
Mendes Lang could have 45. Collins could have 45.
Yeah. I mean, that probably would sound like the way of it, to be honest, for me. Yeah. I think Collins will definitely play a part. If he's fit, he'll play a part.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing. I shall be keenly viewing the team selection when it comes out on Saturday.
Yeah. As long as Mr. Hogan is nowhere near the team sheet for the rest of the season, it's fine by me, Cole.
Oh, good player.
I'm sure he was for someone. Don't know where the real Hogan is, but Hulk Hogan was my favourite Hogan. But there we go. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, again, I think for you, like as you say, the conundrum with injuries, and this is the thing: when you get some good players injured, you've got to change it up. How you change it up? Do you play one up top? Do you change the system? Those are the things that obviously Warney gets paid the big money for.
Yeah. When Collins does come back, it's going to feel like a new sign, isn't it?
I think it will. I mean, again, he seemed really up for it when I've spoken to him. Sort of when he's been injured, he's pretty keen to get back.
Oh, you've been talking to players again, have you?
Always talking to players, Cole. But he's a really lovely guy, by the way. Really lovely guy.
Really.
But he's been watching the games. He's like talking about, I'm really glad to see the team winning. We're all there as a team. It's not just about one player, and I feel that. But I think once he's back fit, if he can stay fit, he will have a massive part to play.
Yeah, I mean, mate, that could be everything we need. If we get Collins back, he's fit, and he starts scoring, mate, that could be a decisive.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Decisive
point of our season.
There you go, Ryan.
He's off to work now.
Off to work. Have a nice day at work, a nice evening at work, whatever it is, Ryan. But thanks for watching.
I don't work, Ryan.
No words.
I'm retired.
Thank you, Aidan, for the great opportunity to put a bit of content out with you. But you're more than welcome. And thank you, Ryan, to you and Chris for doing it.
Yeah, I'll look forward to next week's. I'm going to be looking forward to that every week.
There you go. Craig just said that you could move Kelly into a deep striking in the pair, but he doesn't like shooting. Well, that's the thing, right, Craig? I'm glad you've raised that. No, I'm glad you've raised it because against Salford, I was so frustrated. He was in positions where he just needed to pull and didn't do it.
Yeah.
He just need. Do you know what? I'd rather have had a pop and miss. Just give it a go. Yeah. You know, there's no harm.
Well, the lineup's going to be interesting on Saturday. Very interesting.
It will be interesting. I couldn't call it. I'm sitting there scratching my head thinking who it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon find out.
I agree with Chris. I think Colin will come back in 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've not actually been able to sit here before. I don't know who we're going to have up front, but Patterson.
How far away is Maguire? Do we know that?
Not that far away.
Because you could push Offord up into midfield.
Or defensive midfield.
Yeah, defensive midfield. That could be an interesting move.
Yeah. Who knows?
Certainly don't put him at right back.
No, who knows? Something will surprise us. I'm sure there'll be something.
Yeah.
Dave Bostic just said, don't worry, Colin. Aidan doesn't work. Well, because I'm in Germany all the time. I was actually there for work, Dave, to be fair.
Really?
But I got the benefit of seeing my team in the derby.
Really?
There we go. Yeah, there we are.
I'm bored now.
Are you? No Greg's. There's no Greg's. There you go. That's why.
No, there's no bloody Greg's around here.
I mean, thinking of again, it's only 5 or 6
about Greg's.
Thinking about Greg's, yeah. I might go and buy one and just start eating it here. I'm joking. But no, 5 or 6 weeks before the window opens, roughly, or thereabouts. So looking at that, Cole, where do you see right now, if you could buy 3 players, who would they be?
I don't know about individuals, but I could tell you where I'd like them.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd have a striker and a couple of midfielders. Which is funny, really, because last season
we had too many.
We had too many midfielders, but we're too lightweight in the middle. Like I said last week, and I've said it again tonight, when Crowley and Gilby are off their game, we are struggling.
We are
struggling. And although Kelly's been doing well, breaking up play and all the rest of it, sometimes you just need someone with a bit more steel, a bit more muscle. Is KCS Thompson Summers the answer? I'm not sure. He seems too inconsistent for my liking. But he set up the winning goal on Saturday, didn't he?
He did. I like him. I like KTS. I think
He
know we
looked
got him
very good when we
yeah.
first got him.
we got him from Halifax Town, and I thought he was really good. But I it's a difficult one. But if we can get the right players in January, I would potentially loan him out to another League Two team.
Yeah.
Because I think he needs a run and a bit of a run in the team. He's got the experience and to come back a better player. I think there's a real good player in there somewhere.
I really do think that we should be the bastards of League Two when the window opens.
Go on.
Just start putting in bloody bids for players. I really do.
That's usually how the transfer market works.
No. What I mean is,
Go on.
someone who's done well for a team in League Two, put a bloody bid in for him.
Yeah.
Make it too good to turn it down.
Yeah, that's true.
I can think of at least League One team that'll want to do business.
Well, exactly.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if we bought their best player? That'd freak them out.
They wouldn't even do business, Cole.
No, they wouldn't. No, not. But I mean, offer some ridiculous amount of money and make it public. You know what I mean? Their best player, they want $1 million for him. Offer him 2, but they'll have to turn it down and then put it in the media that we offered them $2 million and they walked away from it. I would.
Well, the interesting thing for me in January, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I wonder if Warney's going to go back to like Rotherham or Derby for a player.
Who knows?
Essentially.
Who knows?
Who's you got? I think like Rotherham, was it Ben Wiles? I think he's one that Warney rated back in the day.
I don't know. I really would start stirring some of these teams up and go trying to poach their best player. I really would.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It'd be interesting, but who and where and how, that's the question. I mean, ironically, it's funny, isn't it? Because you've got players that we've had on loan that we've let go that have gone place, like Lewis Bate.
Yeah.
Gone to Stockport, done wonders, done really well.
Yeah.
Again, that's a player I wish we'd have kept, to be honest, but it is.
Did we, currently, one of the men at the moment is Troy Parrott.
Yeah.
Did we have him on loan or did we
on
have
loan.
him?
It was on loan.
He was on loan.
Yeah, he was on loan.
Okay.
He was on loan. But I'm just trying to think, if you're looking at League One players, like midfielders, I'm just trying to think who you could bring in, Cole.
We've had some bloody good players over the years. When you take and look,
some
of the players that we've had in and probably deemed to be not good enough to play for us, you got Brandon Thomas Asante, you had Callum Britton, you had George Williams. I mean, the list goes on,
Yeah.
And then you look at the players that we let go that we shouldn't, if we'd had an owner with a few quid in his pocket, Max Dean, Scott Twine, Max Waters, the list goes on. Doesn't it? You imagine what sort of a team we could have today.
Yeah, this is the whole sliding doors. You turn left rather than turning right and all of that. I mean, the Max Dean thing for me was always the one. Don't get me wrong. I wish him well again, and he's done wonders. But, if that takeover had happened a bit sooner, would he have stayed? That's always the question.
I don't know. I mean, he could have made him an offer he couldn't refuse, couldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Players are mercenary, mate. They'll go where the money is.
True. Anyway, Craig said striker to replace Hogan. I mean, anyone could replace Hogan, Craig. Like Stevie Wonder could replace Hogan. Wide forward to replace Lecco. Yeah, Molyneux's a great shout, Craig.
Where does Molyneux play?
Donny from last time.
Donny. Okay,
Donny. George says as well here, he said, we need the right player for the right position. That's the problem, George. Last season, we bought too many players.
Well, how many times have me and you said you can't play Kelly and Crowley in the same team?
You can't.
You can't play them.
Yeah. We had too many similar midfield players last year. Yeah, we did. And the problem was, George, because we signed 11 midfielders under Williamson, and it was just like grab. Yeah. How ironic that,
Like kids in a sweet shop we were with midfield players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how times have changed in such a short time.
Tell us who you think that we ought to be buying, and we'll send an email.
Yeah, Parrott did agree to stay if we went up, 100%. Yeah,
we would say. Any chance we could get Paul Warren on this show?
Well, we've asked, Cole. To be fair, it might be time for us to both email yet again for another week and see what
Yeah.
response we get.
Last time you said, "Have you tried emailing him?" Yeah, 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times. 4 times. I might just speak to the guy direct on the weekend. Who knows? And see what he says. To see what we can do. But
Are you going, Saturday?
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to. Hopefully,
I shan't be there.
you'll be in North Norfolk.
I shall be in North Norfolk. Yes.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. January. I can't see wholesale changes, Cole, because we're at the limit of registration. We need to get rid of before we buy in.
Yeah, but well, this is what I say. I can see us bailing out about 3 players. Danny Crowley, people will want him.
I think Crowley. Yeah, I wouldn't like to necessarily see him go. I think he's a good player, and when he's come on, he's made an impact.
I don't know what's wrong with Danny Crowley. I mean, I've watched Danny Crowley play for Notts County, mate, and he's unplayable.
Yeah, I mean, it's unlucky to see.
I mean, I know he had an injury.
Well, to be fair, look, you could say the same about Jack Payne and Tucker Jack Payne and Jack Tucker at Colchester, both doing really well for them.
Never let Jack Payne go. That was a bad move.
Insane, absolutely insane. Never understood that, but it is what it is, right? But no, I don't know. I mean, look, you've got to buy quality, and if you're going to buy quality, there's no point just bringing someone in who's going to be the same as what we've got. I mean, wild card sort of things for me, it won't happen. But the likes of a Matt Ritchie at Portsmouth, who he left because again, it's one of his clubs he started at, and he's knocking on the wrong end of 30 now. But that kind of player in League Two, just to have some experience like that in the dressing room would probably be really, really good.
If we're in that top 3 in May, I want other clubs to say we bought this. That's what I want.
They will do anyway. It doesn't matter what you say.
We bought it.
They're going to say that, but who knows? I mean, there's a few in the Scotland squad, Cole, that we could have probably signed in January. There's a realistic target there, McLean or someone. But yeah, interesting, isn't it? But
okay.
No, I think, like you say, this window, same as the one that's just gone. It's a strange feeling because we've not been in a situation where we've had money to go out and land quality.
No, we're a buying club. We're a buying club, yeah.
Which is nice. It's a nice position to be in. But
I told you what that. I spoke to somebody at the club, and he said to me that the nicest thing over the move to the new ownership was the fact that we would no longer have to sell players to balance the books.
No, not unless we want to.
Not unless we want to. We sell players because we want to, not because we have to.
No, I think the best investment we could do in December, let alone January, would be to cancel Scott Hogan's contract and be done with it, to be quite honest.
Poor Scott.
Robbing a living, Cole. Robbing a living.
Something we've got to do in the next few weeks is think about the Christmas schedule.
We
have.
Shows. Yeah, we will do. No, we will do.
Yeah,
interesting. Speaking of December as well, what we haven't spoken about is the FA Cup against Oldham.
Oh yeah, Oldham.
6th of December. 6th of December. Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on the FA Cup? I mean, again, we'll come back onto the league in a minute, but do you think this is an opportunity for us to actually go hell for leather and try and get somewhere in this cup?
I'm going to take my glasses off for this one. I'm not disappointed we're out of the Virtue Timu Cup or whatever it is. I'm not disappointed we're out of the League Cup, but I really do like the FA Cup. I've been following football for more years than I care to remember. And the FA Cup always holds a bit of excitement. If we could beat Oldham, I'm going to be really gagging for that next round draw.
Who do you want? Who do you want? If we win it, who would you want? And everyone watching, tell us who would you want?
We've already beat Man United, so we don't want them.
Undefeated, yeah. Go on.
I don't know. Man
Liverpool,
City, Man City, Arsenal.
Arsenal, I don't know. That'd be a tough opposition.
Yeah, but mate, the stadium would be full.
Yeah, well, Liverpool's a winnable game. They're not doing very well. I don't know. It'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Everton away would probably be a good one. A new ground.
Let's play a Premiership team that would be take the piss and drop 11 and put the second 11 in. Let's play a team like that. Man City.
Dave Bostic said AFC is obvious for him as a choice.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, Dave. It seems to be that way every time.
No.
Colin Giddens is saying
AFC are out, aren't they?
Well, yeah, exactly.
AFC got knocked out, didn't they?
They are. It doesn't mean we can't draw them. We draw them all the time.
Okay.
That was the point I think Dave was trying to make. Derby or Liverpool away, Colin said it's a good shout. I mean, Derby would be an interesting one, or Rotherham for that fact, to be honest. I don't know if Rotherham is still in it, to be honest.
No. I think AFC are out, mate.
They are out. They lost to Gateshead, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Matt said he would like to see Manchester United or Arsenal.
Yeah.
He only wants to see Man U again because it'd be another rout. Remain undefeated against Man United.
What a night.
Yeah. Arsenal, I mean, again, I don't know, Matt, it sounds great on paper, but I want a game that where they can actually have half a chance of winning or something, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing those kind of teams, being honest with you, if we were in the last 16 quarters. That's fair enough. I want to get through a few rounds first, just because
So you want to beat Oldham and then get a low-ranked team at home?
I would like to beat Oldham and then have a glorious game away to, if there's a non-league team left in the cup by then. I doubt there will be, but if not, a League One team would be fine. Something like that, Cole.
You lost me for a...
Oh, he's gone again. There we go. He's coming back though because he's just jumped back on. There you go.
Hey, I'm back.
You're back. Exactly. But no,
the fear that must have gone through your mind just then.
Well, no, I was fine. It was fine. I expect it when you're in a caravan. Dave said he would like to play Arsenal reserves. So there we go. I'd like Arsenal reserves to be playing in our first 11. To be fair,
I don't really care. I don't really care. I'm a bit like you. I'd either like it really easy or really hard.
Yeah.
Sounds like your OnlyFans channel.
Well, exactly right. It sounds like that, doesn't it? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I mean, you can see the appeal of a Premier League team. I get that, but it probably sounds a bit silly to say, but if you're in those quarters or last 16s, anything's possible by then. You're on a bit of a run. You've got a bit of momentum.
You never know. They might start believing in themselves.
Well, not just that. If you have a good run in the cup, it can transfer into the league as well, and it just builds momentum. That's
also as well. Don't forget, some teams have had a really good run in the cup and been playing crap in the league. So. I don't know. We've got bigger fish. I know what we're saying about the FA Cup, but we've got bigger fish to fry. The most important thing is getting out of this league.
100%. So that we can start playing those big teams on a more regular basis, ultimately.
Yeah.
Craig says, need a lower team so we can go through to the next round and then a big team. Yeah, I 100% agree, Craig, on that one. Matt said as well, he said, I want to get United again because I was on holiday for that one. There we go. Watched it in a bar in Mallorca and I practically became a celebrity because I was wearing a Don's shirt.
What a day that was.
You should have just said that's a standard crowd at home on a weekday, let alone against Man United, Matt. That's what I said to people. It was quite funny. Keith Andrews, Brentford. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Colin. That's not a bad shout. Not straight away, but yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to seeing Keith back. He's doing all right, to be fair, at Brentford. Stephen said not.
No, that's very good point, Stephen.
Yeah, not till some of our games changed into early.
We talked about that last week, didn't we?
It's frustrating.
The EFL bowing down to Sky yet again with no consideration or thoughts of the fans. Are
you surprised?
Pisses me off. No, I'm not surprised.
I don't know. And it's endemic across the globe at the moment, Stephen. And we talked about
endemic.
Across the globe.
How do you spell that?
Exactly right. But it's the fact of like you've got teams in the Bundesliga, you've got teams in
they're not in the FA Cup, are they?
They should be. It should be. We make it down so easier for me. But no, they complain as well because they're having to move times because of Sky. So it doesn't matter. It's not specific to the UK, is what I'm saying.
It's wrong.
Wrong. And it is frustrating. It really is frustrating.
Yeah. No consideration, no thought. Anyway. Oh, okay. Right. Anyway. I mean, I know we're a few minutes early, but
you fancy cheese sandwich or a steak bake or a what?
On my way.
You want to? Oh, you want to win? All right, there you go.
Right. Okay. So we got. Let's thank Luke Payne, Chris
and
Turner,
Tom.
Ryan Wiltshire.
Yeah.
Matt from one little
Trip
cow
to the moon podcast.
Little cow jumped over the moon podcast.
Take no notice, Matt, if you're watching this back. He's
no, he's not. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm grateful to Matt. Grateful to Matt. But, The only thing I was going to say, by the way, before I forget, because I don't want to forget because it's been a few weeks, but the top that we mentioned for Yvonne that's in the silent auction, there is 1 week left before we confirm where that is. So if you want to bid, send me a DM. It was the pink shirt signed by the whole squad. All of the money is going to charity. We've had some very generous offers, but I'd like to see a few more before the end of the year.
And if Ollie Charnock happens to win this, can I have that shirt you promised me? Because it's already been won and we want to give it away. Thank you.
Exactly. Well, there we
We're
go.
back next week.
We are back next week, 7:45 on Wednesday.
I'm back to my home location.
Out of exile, back to the homeland.
Out of exile, I've been allowed back into Northamptonshire, away from sunny Norfolk.
Craig said, don't forget, Fleetwood, 12:30.
Oh, yeah, Fleetwood's 12:30 next week. Yes. Don't forget that. Good point, that.
Just reminding everyone Craig would have been late.
Well, I get there about 12:30, but I'd probably miss. No, well, sorry like that. Anyway, yeah, don't forget, next week, Fleetwood is 12:30 kickoff. So we'll keep banging that out on Wednesday. But we're back to the Wednesday show. We're hopefully going to we'll have Luke Payne on again. We'll have Chris and Ryan giving their predicted lineup. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll have to have a word with John, but hopefully we've got a Fleetwood guest. Can't remember if we had one. Did we have one last year? Can't remember.
I think, you're trying to think. Fleetwood were League One last year.
Oh, yeah, of course they were, yeah.
We've had someone before. I remember there's a young lad. I can't remember his name, but he was always really helpful, really nice guy. I forget his name.
Okay, all right. So hopefully we've got a Fleetwood guest on as well. You'll be here, yeah? Will you be here?
I guess I'll have to be, Cole. Won't
I won't be here, but I'll be there, but I'll be on.
Well, I will say, and I need to say, because Dave Bostet's been good, but he just said that the MK, I needed to mention, but the MKDSA are looking to do toy donations from supporters for the MK hospice and hospitals in children in foster care. So something he just asked if we could talk about. So we'll talk a bit more about that, Dave, on next week's show.
Right, I've got a question for you. Yeah, I've got a question for you. What team used to throw all the teddy bears on the pitch?
Oh, my goodness.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. I know
thousands of teddy bears.
Yeah, it was that.
Was it a German team?
I don't think it was. I'm trying to think of it. I know the one you mean. It's gone out of my head. I can see it. I know exactly the one you mean.
All right. Anyway, MKDSA looking for donations, yeah?
Yeah, looking for some donations for a great cause. And I say they're hoping that we can help get involved with some of that. So, yeah, absolutely. We'll talk a bit more about it next week. We'll speak to Dave on the weekend if he's about. But, yeah, great cause, for charity to help foster kids and hospital at MK as well. Okay. Anything you can do before Christmas, really, really worthwhile. But there are,
And we'll get Dave on here one day.
I think we can if Dave's around. I know he's on the Facebook that way. There we go. He's on the Facebook. So, Dave, if you're around at some point, we'll get you on. And you can talk about it.
You talk about MKDSA, what they're doing. Obviously, there's a bit of a regeneration of the committee and all this, that, and the other. Gone through transition. Dave can come on and tell us what's going on with the MKDSA.
All the better.
We won't get anybody on from the supporters board.
I'm saying nothing.
No,
Spurs would be perfect curveball. There we go.
Well, if anybody's watching from the supporters board, I was joking.
Yeah, well.
All right, okay. Right. Anyway, about that time.
It is almost about that time, Cole. And again, great to see you. And
apologise.
To watch as well.
Apologise, I've dropped out a couple of times, but the internet over here is a bit patchy, especially if it's a high tide. I'm about
especially with the hamster stop running on the wheel in Norfolk.
I'm about 100 yards from the sea. So,
well, 50 yards if it's been raining, but there we go.
50 yards if it's been heavy rain, yeah.
Yeah.
But the guy that owns the site said to me, he came round one day and he was standing here and he was standing on my decking and he put his hand up above the window. He said, "Do you know 1 year it came up this high?" I went, "Bloody hell, really?" So thanks for that.
Oh, my days. Thanks for that.
I've been a lot better now. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Right, okay.
All right.
We'll see you next Wednesday, 7:45. Fleetwood game, 12:30 kick-off. We'll be back 7:45. Only one thing left to say. Say good night, Aidan.
Good night, Aidan.
Take care. See you Saturday. Safe travels if you're going.
Everyone.
Thanks for joining us. Bye now. Oh. Bow, bow, bow. Ba, 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 ba.